Here's my review of Babes. I think that this movie was a lot funnier than I personally expected it because this is a movie I only went because I went to the movie theaters. There's really just not that anything showing. So I thought, I'll just watch that. I think it looks okay. And surprisingly, I had a really fun time with it. Where it's about two friends, Enid and Dawn, and Enid gets pregnant on a one night stand, and then after she meets this guy, gets pregnant, and then after he gets like hit by a car, and then she's forced to basically just like be pregnant, and that's kind of the whole gist of this entire movie. And a lot of this movie kind of thrives within the relationship between Enid and Dawn because it basically Enid is very very immature, and then Dawn is kind of more mature because she actually is having a kid. Like we start off with her having a kid, and then then we eventually get to Eden's story, and it's kind of like focuses on like the immaturity, I guess, on Eden, if that makes sense. Where like Eden is watching over like Dawn's baby, and then she shows him like a horror movie, and then Dawn calls her up, is like, why is my child saying all this terrible stuff and writing 666 on the wall? It's like, oh, I can explain. And then you clearly know, like, this person should not be a mom. She's just too immature. And a lot of this is a bunch of comedy about how she's pregnant and whether she's super hungry, among other things. And if you've seen the movie and you know what scene this scene is hilarious. It is so random, but I thought that it was really funny. So yeah, if you've seen the movie, you know what the scene is, but I'm not going to explain it here. Also, I will say, like, this is kind of movie where it does some of the jokes can be kind of repetitive. Like the scene where she's getting like the ultrasound and then a needle. Like she just keeps screaming over and over, and that's the whole joke. But I actually thought it was kind of funny here. Also, this scene where like they're kind of trying to get in contact with like the family of the man she knew, and when she finds out that he's dead, this whole scene just keeps going on, and it's kind of hilarious. But what this mainly movie focuses on is kind of just Eden maturing as a person, because Dawn is basically kind of constantly saying like how you have to be able to like grow up, because Dawn, now that she has a baby, is a lot more mature. Like they still are kind of immature, both of them, but it's so at least we get like more of this character arc for Eden, and it's very interesting. And like I said, both of these main characters are just really funny. And like I said, with a movie like this, and with any comedies or a horror movie or anything, the main number one thing is if it's an action movie, it's got to have great action. If it's a horror movie, it's got to be scary. If it's a comedy movie, it has to be funny. Everything else, if it's a great comedy, and then it could be a terrible comedy, but then there could also be some really good dramatic beats and maybe good characters. But if you're not funny, I think that you failed as a movie. So fortunately, I thought that this movie was pretty funny. And of course, comedy is subjective, but I thought it was really funny, especially for a movie that I didn't really think looked that good. Personally, I found myself laughing quite a bit. So it succeeded in the one thing that it needed to. So that's where it makes it kind of, I would say, worth watching. But I will say that you also get a good character arc with our characters themselves. Because most of the time, I feel like with comedies, like there could be a character arc, but they're never really necessary. But this one, there's a good character arc, and it actually feels like it's earned, and it feels necessary. So I just thought that made it even better. So yeah, this is a movie I didn't expect to like at all, but I ended up having a really fun time with it.